Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I kind of wanted to start a new series of blog posts and videos going over all of the Disney trips that I've been on. I think I've been to Disney World 9 times now, and like some of these trips were 20 years ago. So I thought it would be fun to kind of like share what I remember of the trips, and I feel like some of the things are probably going to be like really small and like insignificant to like you guys, but I think it's fun to just like reminisce about the different trips. And like obviously the first one was like when I was a kid going to last year, but I've learned so much along the way and like learned from the individual trips, and like not every trip has been like the most magical and perfect, so I want to share that as well, and I want to be as honest as possible, and I'll throw pictures in, and I thought it would be a really fun idea. And I want you guys to be active in the comments and let me know like your first trip to Disney and like what you remember and like what sticks out to you, because I just think that's a really fun idea. So today we're going to start with my first trip to Walt Disney World. So it was in May of 1997. It was actually a Starlight Wish trip for my sister, and we went to Florida for 2 weeks, I believe, and we did 1 week at like a apartment or condo or something by the beach, and then the other week we did Disney World, we did SeaWorld, we did Universal. I think there was only one park at Universal at the time, and SeaWorld and Animal Kingdom wasn't even open yet because it was 1997, and Animal Kingdom didn't open until 1998. So this video is probably going to be somewhat short because I don't remember a ton of it, because I wasn't very old, but I just thought it would be fun, and I can throw in some embarrassing like 90s pictures. So who went on the trip? It was my immediate family, so my mom, my dad, my sister, and me, and then my aunt went, and one of my cousins went as well. We also met up with my mom's, I think it was her parents' friends that she called her aunt, was there, and she met up with us, so she'll probably be in some of the pictures as well. But we stayed at All Star Music, and I remember we were in like the country section, I think, so I remember like the big cowboy boots that are like in between the buildings, and I remember there was a pool that's piano shaped, and I remember there was an Ariel like statue type thing, and Ariel, like Little Mermaid is my fave, so I loved that. And I remember there was a Three Caballeros thing in the pool, I think, and there were like guns shot water or something. I remember we still have it actually, so I'll put a picture in of the like refillable mug from back then. We still have it. It's like totally 90s. So I remember that. I remember we went to MGM Studios first, which is now Hollywood Studios, and the very, very first thing we did was A Voyage of the Little Mermaid, probably for me. And I don't like remember that specific time seeing it, but I know that like it's something that I always want to do when I'm in Hollywood Studios, just because it reminds me of when I was a kid, and I just love The Little Mermaid still, so I love doing it. But I remember, well, and part of this is probably not going to be like what I remember, but like what my parents have told me like of the trip, because I really don't remember a ton. But when we walked out, Mickey was walking by, and like it was our first day there that we hadn't even had a chance to see the characters like from afar. And so he came right up to my sister, because she's in a wheelchair, that he went right to her, and he was wearing like movie star gear, and I was really like, oh my gosh, like he's big, I'm small, that's scary, and so I was like staying back. My parents brought a stroller for me. And right at the last minute, I like wanted to be in the picture, so I'm like in the background of the picture, and he's with my sister and my cousin. But yeah, so my sister was in a wheelchair and I had a stroller. So my parents were troopers, because I think we were at I think that building at All Star Music is like towards the back too. So like they were troopers. But I remember that. I don't really remember going to Epcot. I don't know if we did that, but I remember going to Magic Kingdom. The castle was the cake, because it was the year after I guess like the 25th anniversary was still going on. This castle was still a cake. I remember, I think, seeing Spectral Magic, and we had these, you know how like now they have the carts that go around at like Fantasmic and it's all the light up stuff, and it was like the fiber things that are almost like fishing wire, and the top of it like glowed, and it was Mickey's head, so it like the thing stuck up from Mickey's head, and it was silver, and it had like a blue collar that you turned on and his face lit up, and then they like changed all the different colors. I remember that. I remember we got Minnie Mouse ears, and they were like hard plastic they had like a headband, like it had the teeth in it, that it was pretty painful to wear. I must have gone on Splash Mountain, because I found pictures of that. I don't know if I'll be able to find them in time for the video, but I remember finding pictures of that, and so I must have gone on that. I remember, I don't remember when it was in our trip, but there was a parade on Main Street, and the characters like came into the crowd and picked kids to like dance around the parade, and Pinocchio came and chose me, and I remember holding his hand and walking around the float and like seeing the other characters with kids, and I remember just being like, he picked me. I think that's all I kind of remember at Magic Kingdom. At Hollywood Studios, I remember seeing the AT-AT from Star Tours and thinking that the ride was that moving around. Like, obviously it didn't move, but that was what I thought happened. And I remember going to see Muppet Vision 3D, and there's the little like purple guy that can like change. He changes into like a taxi and like goes on the screen, and he like bounces out into the audience, and when you have the 3D glasses on, it looks like he's looking at you. And I remember being to my mom like, he was looking at me, not you, he was looking at me, and then like seeing it years later, realizing that that was the 3D technology. I think maybe we did go to Epcot, because I feel like I remember the jumping fountains, and I would have gone on like Figment, but I don't really remember that. We did the dinner show at the Polynesian, I think it's called Aloha. I don't remember, but we did that, and I went up, like they had the kids do the hula, and I went up on the stage and did the hula, and my parents have video somewhere of me doing that and then going off the stage and not remembering where they were sitting and like wandering off and like looking for my parents, and my sister's sitting with my parents killing herself laughing because she can see me like losing my parents. Oh, we went to Blizzard Beach, just my mom and I remember my aunt had this like little waterproof case that was, it was red and it was Minnie Mouse, so like to put your park tickets in and like close it so that it was waterproof. I remember doing the like toboggan racers, like the thing that's the big hill that you lay down on the mat. And then I remember I don't think this video would have come out, but we had like the sing-along songs that take place at the water park. I don't know if I would have seen that like before we went on the trip or after, and my mom was like, we went there, but that's kind of what I think of. And there's like the floating icicles where you like hold onto the rope and you like balance on the icicles and walk across, and then there was like the bar that you like swing off and jump into the water. I didn't do that one, but I did the icicle ones, but I wasn't tall enough to reach the rope, and I fell in the water and didn't know how to swim very well and almost drowned. But then the lifeguard was like, you need to get out of here. So I probably did like the kiddie ones. I don't know if the like gondola thing was up back then, if we would have done that, but that's kind of like what I remember from Blizzard Beach. I don't know. Oh, and we did, I don't know if it was called 1900 Park Fair back then, but we did that, and I remember I had this dress that was like Belle's blue and white dress, and on the like skirt that was white, it had Chip, a picture of Chip. And I think I wore that, and we went to like 1900 Park Fair, and there was like Pluto and Minnie and the Mad Hatter and Alice and I think Mary Poppins and Bert. And I remember Pluto, like, he used to have a big like plastic red tongue, and he was like licking my sister. I think we went to like Toontown and saw like Mickey and Minnie's house, which isn't there anymore, but we definitely, I believe we did that. I think we have pictures of that. I feel like I probably did Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I don't think I would have been tall enough or done Space Mountain. It's a Small World. I loved that. Trying to think if there's anything else. Peter Pan's Flight, I feel like we might have gone on. Winnie the Pooh, we probably went on. The Teacups, Mad Tea Party, we probably did that. My dad doesn't like spinny rides, but I feel like we probably did that. Dumbo, probably all the little like kiddie rides, because my sister would have been like 8 and I think I was 5. But yeah, I don't remember a lot about it, and it's hard because like for parents, like, you want to take your kids when they're young enough that it's all magical, and you still want like to see the in their eyes, but at the same time I don't remember a lot of it. But that's okay. I can look at pictures and stuff like that. I remember, I think there was a meet and greet at like meeting characters. It would have been around like Toontown. I think like there was a tent there or something where like the Storybook Circus meet and greets would be now, I guess. And there was one way to meet like nice people, and then another way to go meet the villains, and we were too scared that we made my dad meet all the villains, so there's like pictures of my dad with all of the villains somewhere. There was the Hunchback of Notre Dame show at MGM. I remember seeing that. I think that's pretty much all I can remember, so I'll try and have pictures going over top of me talking. I'll try and find as many as I can, but obviously, like, because I was just a kid, I didn't learn a lot of that trip because I wasn't the one doing the planning, but it was a really good trip, and I'm really glad I had that experience of going to Disney World as a kid, because the next time I went, I was a teenager. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you guys continue to check in for the next videos in the series. I will create a playlist as I have more videos, so you can kind of go through and watch all of them. But let me know what your first trip to Disney was like, because I'd love to hear about it. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you'll get it, and turn on your notification bell so that you'll know when I post the next videos in the series. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.